Good evening, I'm Laura Tangle and this is $7.10. Tonight we're joined by the Prime Minister, Scott Morrespin. Welcome, Prime Minister.
Oh, thanks Laura. Hey, wasn't this show called $7.15 last time?
It was, but we've had a few more cuts around here.
Oh, I see. Well, thanks Laura, glad to be with you. As myself, as me, with all my excessive weight, daggy glasses, and mouldy, ill-fitting suits.
But who else would you be, Prime Minister?
Well, now I'm just saying that sure, people can pretend to be fitter and hotter by doing stuff like, well, I don't know, exercising and losing weight, but they're still fatties on the inside if you get my drift, Laura. Not looking at anyone, although...
I see. Did you not have your photo taken wearing moleskins and a Cooper and looking out over farmland and shearing sheep?
Well, yeah, but they're just things that I always do.
And hammering nails and driving a truck and emerging from submarines.
That's true, Laura, but you see, that's just me. That's how you know you got the real Scott Morrison, the real ScoMo, not pretending to be anyone else, like John Howard or Bob Hawke, or even the very dashing Robert Menzies. None of that fake losing weight or new glasses baloney. Laura, just good old-fashioned up-front fair dinkum, manufactured, high-resolution and carefully airbrushed photo opportunities.
Indeed. Now, Prime Minister Morrespin, I would like to turn to the floods, if I may.
Well, of course, these are very floody times, Laura.
Quite. Can you understand why many people feel abandoned, Prime Minister?
Well, of course I do, Laura. I mean, it's like my good friend, who happens to be the National Recovery and Resilience Agency Coordinator, General Shane Stone, said, you got people who want to live among the gum trees, and then their houses fall in the river. I mean, of course they feel abandoned. They're in the river, for God's sake.
Yes, but do you accept that your government could have done more?
Well, no, not at all. We've done everything now that we did with the bushfires and with the pandemic. Why should the floods be any different? I mean, that's hardly the government's fault. As I've said before, Laura, I don't hold a hose. And now, nor do I hold a suction pump, or a needle, or really anything of any practical use whatsoever. I couldn't be any clearer than that.
Right, so what have you done to help, Prime Minister?
I'm glad you asked that, Laura, because we've sent in the Defence Forces. We've given some people some more money, despite them building their houses in with all the gum trees in flood zones. I even picked up rubbish myself, with my own hands. Well, not my own hands, with special implements of course, but me, I, the real Scott Morrespin, not trying to be anyone else, Laura.
But didn't the Defence Force go in and take photos for the first week?
Well, of course, because they're the Defence Force. They're not pretending to be the SES, Laura. They can't just go in there and start helping people willy-nilly. That'd get in the way of the experts. We can't have them saving people from drowning or assisting with clean-up efforts. They're the Defence Forces, Laura.
I see. And didn't your government allow people to build in those areas?
Oh, that was the state governments, Laura, and the local councils. I think details are important, Laura.
Reports also indicate that your $1,000 one-off payments plus the additional $1,000 payments are only available in Liberal seats.
Well, that's just nonsense, Laura. I'm offended by that. They're also available in marginal seats.
What about the people who have been flood affected in Labor seats?
Oh, honestly, Laura, do I have to spell it out? The funds, and I want to be completely clear about this, the funds are on a needs basis. And the Liberal MPs in Liberal and marginal seats are clearly in much greater needs of funds if they want to get re-elected. However, sorry.
That's alright, we can cut that bit out.
Honestly, Laura, do I have to spell it out? The funds are on a needs basis, and the Liberal MPs in Liberal and marginal seats are clearly in much greater needs of funds. How else will they be re-elected?
Quite. Prime Minister Morrespin, thank you for your time.
Always a pleasure, Laura. Never a chore.
Independent Australia has around 60,000 social media followers and fans. If even 1 in 10, the ones who are not struggling,
We know who you are.
subscribed or donated to Independent Australia, we'd be, well, a much happier family.
And we like a happy family.
So if you value what we do, or even just because you value independent media and don't want to see another voice get snuffed out, then please subscribe and or donate to Independent Australia today. Thank you.
Nice little publication you got here. Be a shame if something was to happen to it.